Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for commenting, liking, subscribing and sharing the link. If you're new to this channel, I am Tamia and let's get into it. So first things first, I'd like to apologize for not uploading the past 2 weeks. I think this is the second week, yes. The first week I was not okay. I didn't have a medication. I was not okay. Like, I was a mess. I wasn't sleeping. So I decided that I'd just wait until I was back on track because I didn't want to upload for the sake of uploading, for the sake
of being consistent.
I wanted to give you something that I know I've given my all into it, and yeah, I just want to give you proper content, right? And secondly, I've just started with my online learning and it's the pits. I'm not gonna lie, it is it's a bit shaky. Yeah, it's shaky, so I'm still trying to find my rhythm, and once I know how to go about my online learning, I will let you know how often I'll be uploading videos. And yeah, you've probably seen from, is it the title or the header, but that thing that shows I am going to be talking about defense mechanisms. So first things first, I need to let you guys know that I will be making reference a lot to my journal because I had to obviously jot down things, because if I don't jot down things, I'm gonna be everywhere. So this is a journal that I made when I was in hospital. It was one of our therapeutic sessions, creative something, yeah. So this is my journal and it reads mind over matter. So I'm gonna try explain it briefly, what my cover means, and then I'm gonna get into the content. So obviously semicolon, my life isn't over yet. That, what do they call it, flatline, that one, it goes yeah. So that works hand in hand with my semicolon. And then there's the clouds and there's the greenery, there's the sun there with a cross. Yeah, there's a sun with a cross, and yeah. So for me, mind over matter, guys, this thing up here is very strong. It is stronger than you think it is. And then the cross and the sun basically represents the light in my life, the light that God was shining on me, you know, when I thought that my life had ended, when I thought it was the end, like when I thought it was done. Okay, so as I said, we're going to be talking about defense mechanisms. Defense mechanisms are the opposite of coping mechanisms, and I'm going to try my best to explain this so that you guys understand. But obviously, first things first.
I've been saying first things first, but
Defense mechanisms are behaviors people use to separate themselves from unpleasant events, actions, or thoughts. This puts distance between self and threats such as guilt and shame. Defense mechanisms are, you're unconscious in that moment, right? And it's not intentional, it's unintentional.
not intentional, unintentional.
So for you, it is like pulling yourself from reality. You put yourself away from reality.
I haven't been on camera in a long time, so it's
Basically detaching yourself from reality and forming your, it's like making your own world in the world, if you get what I'm saying. Other people may use defense mechanisms as a tool of adaptation, or like a tool of adaptation. So you are trying to make the situation better for yourself. You're trying to make the situation better for yourself. But this could also be an indication that there's an underlying mental problem. Because often enough, people with I don't want to say consistent defense mechanisms. Okay, there are different types of defense mechanisms, right? But you might find that it is an indication that there's something wrong. An example of this is pathological lying. So in the past week or two, I don't remember, but I put up a poll on my Instagram, right? And I was asking what comes to mind when you think or read or hear pathological lying. People came up with answers such as
you're I'm so sorry. But I'm going to try to say everything that I remember.
I was talking about how people lie uncontrollably. People just prefer lying. You know, it was just around lying, but not many people kind of picked up on the fact that some people aren't aware that they are lying. They lie without expecting a benefit from the lying, if you get what I'm saying. So I remember it was in 2018 when I was told that I'm a pathological liar, right? And I was like, what? Me, a pathological liar? What do you mean? Right? But then also with time and a lot of research and a lot of sessions with my psychologists and therapists and everything, I came to the understanding that it was a clear indication of one of my conditions, which is borderline personality disorder. Defense mechanisms can change someone's psychological state. The idea of defense mechanism comes from psychoanalytic theory, a psychological perspective of personality that sees personality as interaction between three components, which is id, ego, and superego. I'm not going to dwell too much into the id, ego, and superego, but I can write the three words here somewhere so that you guys can go look them up and kind of understand more when it comes to the three components, right? So I'm going to mention the 10 types, or like the basic types, right, of defense mechanisms, the basic go-tos. First things first, denial. Denial. That is a defense mechanism, my baby, my boy. I mean, you know when you're being told the truth, and you just go, nah, that's not it. That's not it. It's like someone saying to you, you need help. You are not okay. He's like, nah, I've got this. If someone says to you, Tamia, you are failing academically, and you're like, no, it's because I studied the wrong thing. Listen to someone saying that you're failing. Actually, that's another example, but we'll get to it. But denial is one of the biggest go-tos when it comes to defense mechanisms. Repression. And repression basically talks about how you do not want to, how do I say that? You don't want to accept it, right? So you like push it away, and you don't want to acknowledge, you don't want to feel what's happening. And little do you know that that thing is gonna come back later on when something else triggers it. So do not repress. Basically, yeah, it's, I don't know how to say that, but hopefully you get what I'm saying, right? Number 3 is projection. I do not know how best to describe this to you, but I'm gonna use an example. Projection is things that are happening to you, but you are using them on someone else. So there's this great example that they showed us when we were in a hospital. It's a cartoon. I'm going to try and add it somewhere, hopefully here somewhere. But basically, it's like, let's say my friends and I went partying, right? And then I'm drunk. And I keep on saying to my friends, let me use Uzile. And I'm like, hi, Bo Uzile, you drunk? And he's like, no, I'm not drunk. No, you drunk. So what I'm doing is basically saying, dude, you drunk, but he's not drunk. I'm the one who's drunk, but I'm putting it on him. I'm projecting my problems on him. It's me saying to him that, oh my gosh, Famo, you drunk. And you're like, nah, I'm not drunk. It's me saying to someone, you are fat. But that's how I feel about myself. It's me saying to someone, you're not worthy of being here, but that's how I feel about myself. So it's basically putting my stuff on someone else, you know? I'm gonna say to Nosi, you are fake, right? But I'm not saying it to her because she's fake. I'm saying it because I feel or I believe that I'm the fake one in that environment. So basically that's what projection is. displacement. Displacement is so, so, so common, especially when it comes to parents. Let me just think of a perfect example. Some of these words, mind you, right, I will not explain because I don't really have I don't want to say the capacity, but I do not have the English to explain these words, these terms. But you can always just go onto Google and Google them. So displacement is, let's say now, this is a good one. Let's say my uncle comes back from work, right? And Uncle T, yeah, let's call him Uncle T. Uncle T comes back from work, and at work he was shouted at by his boss because he's not doing anything right. He's wasting time, he's wasting resources, he's been told how useless he is, and he's not okay, right? So obviously he's mad and he wants to react or like burst. Instead of him doing that to his boss, he comes back at home. And I'm here singing as I'm doing my homework. And because my singing is annoying him, he's going to do what? He's going to shout at me. What is he doing? He's taking out all his frustration that he bottled from when his boss was shouting at him, and now he's putting it onto me. So that's what I think a lot of parents do, because they have like their own problems happening in the world, be it work, be it financial problems, be it maybe nyani, they also have their own mental things that they're not aware of. Like, they are things that have happened to them, but they put or exert the negativity on the wrong person, on the next person. So it's very important for you on the receiving end as well to kind of don't react same time. Don't just like not sit, but like think about it by now. Okay, why is Uncle T shouting at me? Why is he beating me? Did I really do something wrong? Or did I perhaps happen to be the person he came in contact with straight after the what's the word? That thing, the encounter that he had with the previous person. So it's also very important for you to not just accept everything that's happening. Yeah, okay, cool, fine. Listen to what's happening. You know, you can get emotional about it. You can cry about it. You're going to be hurt, obviously, because you don't understand why this is happening. But you should kind of like sit and think to yourself, before I really do something drastic, do I deserve to be treated like this? Is it because, yeah, shame, nyani, I was a bad child and I broke all the dishes and I just went bleh in the kitchen? Or is it because he was just taking out frustration on me? And this becomes very important also, not only in parent-child relationships, but in day-to-day relationships, be it romantic relationships. Those things will do this to you. Like, imagine every day it's either you come back to the partner comes back to you, you guys are having a conversation, you know, and you just go, man, babe, could you please pass me the onion? I want to prepare dinner. Yo, Ati, oh, with a knife. Okay, I don't know why I just said that, but then your partner goes, do you know why your partner's being like that? It's not you. In most cases, trust, you are not the reason. That person has their own problems, and you just happen to be the messenger that's going to be shot, and it was not even your own message. To get regression. Regression. What is regression? Regression is escaping that moment that you're in and going back to like an early childhood stage that was like, how do I say this? As a child, right? Your mother hits you because you're being naughty. You were just being a child and you got hit. And you see, there are people who like suck their thumbs, or yeah, let's use the ones who suck their thumbs. The people who used to suck their thumbs to, like, comfort themselves, right? So regression in this case would be a 35-year-old who was shouted at, or was embarrassed in public, or was harassed somehow, and their form of escaping would be going back to their childhood, early stage selves where they used to suck their thumb. And then now you find them there sucking the thumb. Why? They are escaping the reality, they're escaping what's happening to them at that moment. And it is, again, as I said in the beginning, you are unaware of what you're doing, because for you it's like it's your go-to, it's second nature, it just comes. And there is rationalization. This one is my favorite because I used to do this a lot. Rationalization, I remember I also did this in high school so many times. I fail a test, right? Why did I fail? Come, let's talk about this. Tamia, why did you fail this test? In my high school, we used to get our reports like way before the term ends, right? So I think I'd get my report a week or two before I go home. So I see my marks, I'm like, but they wrote me here, and this is what happened, and this is whatnot. And then you give them back to your mentors, and your mentors take them back to the grade coordinators, and the process goes on. So I would see my marks, right? And I'd write them down, and I'd be like, okay, these are my marks. Sure. I would tell my mother my marks beforehand, like before she sees my report. So the day I see my marks, I'm like, yo, mama, Yazi, you know what happened? I failed this because I'm not the only one who failed. Like, I really am not the only one who failed. My teacher put in this section and we never learned it. And, it's it's backing up, it's reasoning as to why what you're doing happened. I don't know how to explain this, but I know I used to say, mama, but it's not me, it's the teacher. We're all failing. Or, mommy, I tried. I studied this, and then they took out something else. Like, it's basically you are convincing yourself that there's nothing wrong. It's just that, maybe next time you're going to get it. Don't worry. It's small waters with you. But that's what rationalization is. It's trying to make sense of the situation and not seeing it for what it entirely is. Then there's sublimation. I think that's how you say it, sublimation. I'm not good with English, but yeah. Sublimation is it's more of a positive because it drives you into doing something better. So I mentioned it was one of the ways I used to cope with my problems, but it was in a negative form, which was self-harm, right? But later on, I also spoke about how when I was mad, when I was angry and hurt and irritated, I'd take out all my emotion when I was dancing, right? So this is basically channeling your energy into something positive. So it could be singing, it could be drawing, it could be gardening, it could be taking boxing classes. There are a lot of things that you could do that whereby you're going to channel all the negative energy, channel all your frustrations or your emotions, and put them in something that's going to have a positive impact on you as a person, or like on other people. But preferably it should be positive for you, because at the end of the day, this is you that you need to think of, and you're your best friend practically. So please do keep in mind that I am also human. I'm not a professional at this, and I am just sharing what I've been exposed to. I'm sharing what I've learned. I'm sharing what I know. I might not always be right. Yeah, I'm obviously not always going to be right, Aibo. But please do feel free to do further research on the things that I talk about. I'm open to questions, comments, concerns, not just about the information that I'll talk about in a certain vlog, but also the way in which I present my information, the way in which I share my story, and so forth. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, click notification bell, share the link, and share it, and share it, and share it, and share it again and again and again. Reaction formation. Reaction formation is very tricky. Reaction formation is basically being the opposite and like big, like not exaggerated, but the exaggerated part. So an example would be again, me, right? It's a Friday evening with my friends. My friends want to go out. They're like, let's go out. And I know very well that I'm not okay, firstly. Secondly, I don't have money. Like, I'm broke. Like, akho mali jo. Atina chelede, I'm broke. Brokey. I'm flat broke. Ne. And it's not even time for me to be getting like my allowance or anything of that sort. So I'm broke. But because I need to cope with whatever it is that's happening, not coping, you get what I'm saying, I would then go out with my friends. I'm not okay, first things first, and I don't have money, secondly. But with my friends going out, I will be the happiest chap on earth. I will be on the dance floor dancing. I'll be super happy, right? And also with that comes me being impulsive. And I would overspend money on alcohol, right? I would overspend the money that I don't even have. This is where now you end up not knowing when you're gonna get toiletries, or you survive on this little match of Vaseline for a very, very long period of time. This is where you spend money that you know you're going to use for perhaps stationery, and you're just like, Joe, macho, like, I'll see you. This is in the now. Like, you know, that's what happens. So reaction formation is a very tricky one, and with that, I picked up when I found out that I've got bipolar mood disorder, that, you know, I'm never in the middle. I'm either in the deep negatives or the deep positive. Maybe I should be saying deep negative and deep positive, depending on how this video is going to look like. But yeah, I was never in the middle. I was always on the other end of the spectrum. It's either I'm super happy and I waste my money and I lose myself. I basically have no morals whatsoever. I go with the wind. I just, that is what happens when I'm on the positive end, right? When I'm on the negative, I don't want to talk to anyone. I'm not eating. I don't get out of bed. I wouldn't shower for like a good 3 days. I wouldn't give two loves about my academics. It's basically, yeah, I'm never in the middle. I'm never, okay, I can, nah. I'm either that side or that side. No in the middle, right? There's no in the middle. And what my psychiatrist also said to me the other time was that bipolar tends to not exaggerate things, but it exaggerates your depression, especially. So for me, there's a person who is just diagnosed with clinical depression. And then there's a person who has clinical depression and bipolar. Let's forget all the other conditions. But then they also have bipolar, right? This was the best way that my psychiatrist explained me, basically, because I never know how to put myself, like, how I feel into words. So she was like, you know what, Tamia? Depression with bipolar is like a spaghetti. You see a spaghetti, one does that thing, ne? And you wet it, like, you know when you're cooking spaghetti and it becomes noodles. And you wet it, right? She says bipolar when you have depression and bipolar, it's like you're carrying, it's like a spaghetti, a wet spaghetti carrying a piano. Now try and put that, like try and see how possible it is for a wet spaghetti to carry a piano. I was like, what do you mean? But then as time went, I started understanding by Yanshim. No lies detected, because wow, it's like, the thing is, I'm not trying to say, no, actually, I'm not saying this. Do not get me wrong. There is no condition that is more important than the other, and there's no situation whereby you are hurt and my hurt is bigger and more important than your hurt. Hurt is hurt. I lost a cat, you lost a cousin. We are experiencing the same hurt. Like, I know it's different levels, but at the end of the day, we're experiencing the same hurt. Like, who knows, I might even cry more because, wow, that cat was all I had. And do you get what I'm saying? And in my head, I'm imagining everyone saying, yeah, we get what you're saying. But anyways, number 9, compartmentalisation. Compartmentalisation. Yeah, that big word. You put your life into compartments, basically. I have problems.
Let's see. Friendships. Nah, let me just say relationships. I know I said I wouldn't talk much about relationships, but yay, there's a lot, man. I won't focus on relationships entirely, but I'd make examples.
So compartmentalization, Jesus,
is I'm having problems with my partner, and he hurt me so badly. He hurt me and he doesn't want to listen. And because I think the sad thing is that people in our generation, they see relationship as the only thing. You guys really prioritize the relationships, man. I'm saying you guys because I've learned my lesson so many times. But you prioritize relationships yay, it's sad. It's sad. Hey guys, do not lose your friends. Do not lose relationships with your family. Do not lose everyone else for one person, because that one person can just up and go. And what happened? Your life come crumbling down. What happened to you? But your compartmentalization, hey, I got it, is my partner and I aren't doing so well. So every time I'm with my friends or I'm anywhere and people start talking about relationships, I totally shut down. I do not want to touch the topic. I do not want to, I don't want to think about it. I just become mute when you talk about that situation. Do you get? So it's basically shutting down that part, because you do not want to feel, you don't want to accept, you don't want to acknowledge what it is that's happening, and you will focus on the other compartments. So it's like you're building, and then in room number 5 there's a blackout. So because there's a blackout, you don't want to realize that in room number 5 there's your clothes. So you forget about your clothes because it's a blackout and you don't like the dark. And then you focus on the kitchen, the living room, the study room, would you focus on the laundry with no clothes? But anyways, I hope you get what it is that I'm saying. Then the final one is number 10, intellectualization. So intellectualization, you basically you become a robot. Yeah, you become a robot. So you would, instead of going, oh my gosh, I didn't get the job, oh my gosh, I didn't get the funding, you start thinking of, okay, there's this other place, there's this other scheme that gives funding for this, there's that. You then start thinking of, how do they say, there's a certain type of thinking, quantitative thinking or something of that sort. Please feel free to go Google this. Yeah, but it's basically, you don't want to take your L. If something doesn't go your way, accept it. But it didn't go. Accept it. Process it. And what? And what? Integrate. So like, but basically intellectualization is when you decide to detach yourself from the actual situation, like emotionally. You decide to not focus on reality and you focus on facts. Oh no, there are 5 more firms who are Hila, but so what you can do with the information I've given you, with defense mechanisms, right, you can use these as, what's that word, self-deception? Is it self-deception? But there's a word, I'll remember it, I'll put it here. But you can use them as a tool to, to check yourself. Like, check yourself. Because in most cases, you'd find out, as I said, you are not aware of the things that you're doing, right? But if you can pick up what your defense mechanisms are, and like, now you're aware about, okay, this is what I'm doing, you go, Tamia, what is another way that you can deal with this? Like, what is a better way? What is a better option of you reacting to the situation that you're in? So it helps as a tool of searching yourself. Like, you get to switch off the switch before, and it helps you find accountability. So instead of you always blaming things on people and blaming things on situations that are out of your control, you can start saying, oh no, shame, it is not because of the driver that I'm late. It is because I did not wake up on time. It is because I didn't prepare the things that I need for my interview. It is because, like, do not say I'm late because of my Uber driver. It's not your Uber driver. You either woke up late, you did not iron your clothes beforehand, you forgot where you put your papers, your battery was low and you wanted to charge it, you didn't switch on the geyser the night before and now the water was cold, so you had to wait for the water. There's a lot that, if you were to think about it, you were in the wrong. It's not the poor Uber driver, or it's not the app, or it's not the data connection. It is you, right? And then learn coping mechanisms, coping strategies. But please, 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 ndacela kunorho, positive ones. Positive ones. Do not go and be Tamia and go and self-harm. Do not go and overspend your money because you believe, I'm going to get money in the next 5 days. You do not know what's going to happen in those 5 days. You don't know if you're going to get injured, if something bad is going to happen and you're going to need money. Like, you need to be street smart, streetwise, street smart, whatever. You need to be voortwakker in this life thing, right? So I would really, really recommend that you go and you look into different coping strategies and find what works for you. Obviously, it's not going to work like just like that. It's going to take time, and it's something that you should get used to. Like, it should be routined. Like, get used to it. Like, get used. I don't know how to explain, but get used to it, right? But apart from all of that, from me, this is all that I've got when it comes to defense mechanisms. And I felt that defense mechanisms was the best next topic because in my previous vlog, I spoke about how I became very defensive when I had to talk about my identity. So, I hope that there's something you've learned. I hope that you guys will be able to help other people out there that do not have access to this, because at the end of the day, I'm sharing my knowledge, I'm sharing resources that I've been exposed to, and I'm sharing things that not everyone might have the access to. So it's all coming from a place of love, person who generally cares, and I'm a really nice person. Like, feel free to make contact. I'm not gonna scream. I'm not gonna bite you. I really think I'm a sweetheart. Like, I'm a sweetheart. But yes, guys, thank you so much for the support. I'm very much so grateful. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share the link. Tell your friends, tell your sisters, your siblings, your cats, your dogs, your mother, your father, your parents, teachers, I don't know. But please just keep on sharing. I'm not sure when I'm gonna drop the next vlog, but look out for that. It's gonna come. It's gonna, oh, happy level 3 of lockdown. Drink responsibly if you are drinking. Do not mix alcohol and medication. That is all for me. Thank you for joining. I love you guys.